Hey, my nonprofit visionaries. It is Shalita, the nonprofit Easter O'Neill. It has been a while. I've missed you all, and I've been thinking of jumping back in and reconnecting and figuring out what message can I give to you. It's December 2019, so we only have a few more weeks left in 2019 before it's 2020. And I wanted to bring us in with healing, the subject of healing. You can't heal yourself through helping other people with their nonprofits. I'll say that again. Say it again. Say it again. You can't heal other people through your nonprofit if you haven't done the healing yourself. A lot of us, not everyone, right? Not everyone, but a lot of us that start our nonprofit organizations, we do so because we're coming from a personal place, a place of this has happened to me, or someone I care about, someone I love, it has affected me. And a lot of times in our society, in our culture, we don't really look at how trauma influences us in our lives and our decisions, and we're in a space where we have to always perform at our highest no matter what's going on with us. Like we have to operate as if we're not human and put on this mask every day that nothing bothers us because that's the professional way. But the truth and reality of it is that we carry these things with us wherever we go. It comes out of our pores. It's poured into everything that we do. Whatever situation you're going through, or how you are processing trauma or managing your self-care, is going to be apparent through whatever you manifest. Whether it's your nonprofit, a for-profit, whatever project you're working on at work, at home. If you haven't worked through your stuff, it's going to come out onto other people. So the whole purpose of us starting nonprofits is because we want to change the world. We want to help others. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to help others because you've been through something similar or you can relate or feel it. But you cannot manifest what you truly want for others if you don't even do that for yourself. And a lot of times that's where we come in with the whole savior complex, right? And it doesn't matter. I know, y'all know the work that I do, a lot of it with nonprofit visionaries, we look at racial inequity and disparate or disproportionality in the nonprofit world. And, a lot of times we see that those people of color who are in the communities, it's almost like they're treated as charity cases, right? And we don't want to do that, regardless of what racial background or ethnic community that you belong to. You don't want to do that to other people. You don't want to create a story about what their experience is or how they need your help because of something that you've gone through. And maybe that's what you needed, but it's not necessarily what they need. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit more, and I've got my notes here because y'all know I will, go off a little bit or off on a little tangent. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it short and sweet and to the point, but so that you get it, because it's imperative that when you're going into 2020, you are aware of your own things, right? And that's what I had to do myself. Many of you that have been following me, I'm not shy about sharing. I was in foster care, coming out of foster care, wanting to help other people in foster care. I was trying to heal myself by helping other people and pretty much distract myself from the things that I needed to work on by helping other people with their stuff. It sound familiar? Maybe not. Okay, maybe it's just me. All right, I don't know. But that was my situation. And it took me years to figure out that, okay, Shalita, you have healing to do. You have unresolved trauma that you need to work through. What's the type of person that you want to be in this world? Why are you not being that? Where does this come from? Look at where these issues or things originate from. And most times, we don't want to talk about it. It's too sensitive. It's uncomfortable. We don't want people in our business, but your business comes out. So it comes from your childhood. It comes from how you were raised, and not everybody's trauma is the same. Trauma is different, and no one trauma is better or bigger than the other. Somebody could have grown up in a home where money was not an issue and they had both their parents there, but their parents were emotionally abusive to them, or there were other family members or things that they saw. They felt disconnected from other people because of their situation, and they analyzed and processed that in a way that was traumatic for them, right? These things are traumatic in the way they're dealing. So their trauma is no less than someone who grew up in a home where their parents were not there, maybe went into foster care, or who were sexually or physically abused. That trauma is still trauma. Their trauma is still trauma, and they're going to process it the same way, right? So there is no, oh well, mine is more horrible than yours. Who can have the worst sob story? It's not that at all. Everyone has trauma. Everyone has things that we carry around on our backs where we feel like, we have to save the world. We have to be the strong ones. We have to be the sane ones. We have to be the perfect ones. And this is no judgment. I'm telling y'all because it's coming from a place of, I've been there, and every day you still have to talk to yourself. Every day I still have to talk to myself. Say, Shalita, what is this? What is this thing that's coming up for me? And why is it coming up for me? And what do I do about it? So I want you all to be very clear about that, because if you're not aware of your own stuff and what you're bringing to this, again, it will spill out onto the people that you're trying to help. And it could be counterintuitive to the work that you're trying to do, because there's a difference between empowerment, and a difference between enabling. So you want to empower people. You want to be empowered. You don't want people to enable you in different situations. You want someone that's going to, help you coach you through it, because you are the expert in your life. The same way as the people that you're going to be working with, they are the experts. It's not about you coming in and telling them what they need, or trying to, figure it out in a bubble and then coming to them and saying, this is the thing that I have for you, or this was what I needed when I was in that situation. So that means this is what they need in their situation. That is not the case. You don't want to project that on to other people. In order to not do that, you have to know who you are, truly, what makes you tick, your belief systems. How did you come to operate the way that you do? Well, we have to peel back the layers of the onion, so they say, and go back to, well, this was a survival mechanism or defense mechanism for me at one point. And so, it's something that I've continued to keep and use, but it no longer serves me. Because then when we look back, we see different patterns of situations that have happened, and maybe it got us through temporarily, but it's not sustaining because it's not healthy and it's not holistic. So be very aware of what's going on with you and taking care of yourself, right? Self-care. It's not just, oh, okay, well, I get my nails done, so that's my self-care. And that may be one version of it, but I challenge you, and we got to get past the superficial stuff. It's about to be 2020. Anybody got time, right? If if you really want to make a difference, you have to start with yourself, and you have to be real with yourself, and not be afraid to have those, to really have that conversation with you, right? Shalita, why do you do that? Insert name here. Why do I do that? Is it truly because I'm taking care of myself, or am I people pleasing? Am I trying to look a certain way for myself or for other people? And if I'm trying to look a certain way for myself, then why does it matter? Dig a little bit deeper into what's your things. What are your things? Is it worthiness? Are you, that was one of mine growing up, is I didn't feel like I was worthy. I, bouncing back and forth to different family members, and it wasn't like people would tell me, "Oh, Shalita, you're just a jewel. You're a gift, and love, and blah blah blah." I didn't necessarily hear that the way that I wanted to hear that, so I internalized a lot of things, and not wanting to be rejected, not wanting to be abandoned again, I created my own sort of survival mechanisms, which included, which you could, when you look at it, when you uncover it, you're like, oh, that's what that is. Okay, well, people pleasing. Okay, you don't want to lose people. You want to be liked. You care about external appearances, and this may not be your bag. It might be something different, but it's something. So I ask you, I beg of you to take this time to look back over 2019. Look at your relationships. Look at, were they what you wanted them to be? Were they fulfilling? Were the people around you encouraging you and pushing you to do better? Or were they doing the opposite? Were they toxic? Were they telling you what you couldn't do? And why did you keep them there? Ask yourself the very hard questions. What do you really want in life? What do you want for your life? Does it look like that? You know, the things that you want for yourself, can you say that you're truly happy in this moment, that you're truly happy with the situations, the people around you? And if not, why do you continue to allow them to be there? Why do you continue to allow them to exist? And we can't go external with it, because the first thing we like to say is, oh, well, it's their fault. It's because I don't understand. It's this, it's that situation. It's not me. It's not, it's no. You are the common denominator. It's a hard thing to hear. It's uncomfortable, but we all, every day, from moment to moment, we have choices. We have the opportunity to choose something different. And that choice can either lead to something that we want or something that we don't want. We're adults now. Right? It's not like we're children and we're at the whim of or the mercy of the people that are responsible for raising us. And then we have to, deal with how they handle that. No, we are adults now. So if you're continuing to make a choice off of something that happened to you as a child, you are choosing that, and you are recreating and perpetuating the very things that you said you do not want in your life, or that you do not want to do to other people. And it's real. Again, I love you. I'm not judging you at all. I just want you to see it because I do care. And I'm going through my own journey. It will always be a journey. I will never get to a destination. We will never get to a destination. It's all about becoming better, better and better, and shifting and evolving to be the people who we truly want to be, but that will also bring us the things in our lives that we say that we want. So take ownership of where you are right now, because that's the only way this thing works. When you talk about healing, you can't heal by projecting onto other people. You have to heal by, one, forgiving yourself, because we hear that word forgiveness a lot. Forgive. And that's my thing. I'm working on forgiveness. I've forgiven and I still have some forgiving to do. And I'm one of those people as well. I have to make sure that I'm very aware of the ways I need to forgive myself. And a lot of times, again, we externalize. Oh, I need to forgive. I ain't forgiving that person. I need to forgive that. We need to forgive ourselves because we're harder on ourselves than we are anybody else around us. When you talk about compassion, when you talk about, you might be able to show other people compassion, and empathy. Oh, that's good. But when it comes to yourself, it's difficult to do that. We are our worst critics because we have such high expectations. So I say is take a deep breath and really feel this thing. I really think about, where do you want to be? What's the work that you have to do? What are the hard questions you need to ask yourself? It will be uncomfortable. It will be so uncomfortable. It will get worse before it gets better. There have been days when I made a decision to start this journey of unpacking my own stuff, there have been days that I've just felt like I was lost. I felt like, who am I? If this person who I've been projecting this whole time isn't true to who I really, really am, then who am I? And it can feel very lonely. It could feel very frustrating, very painful, but you come through it. You just put one foot in front of the other. And people will ask, well, what's the healing process? Everybody's process is different. What comes up for you will not come up for me, and vice versa. You have to really be connected with the process and being okay and being vulnerable. I tell you guys a lot, there's power in vulnerability. We're in a world and a culture where vulnerability has been demonized. Like, you're not supposed to tell people when you're not having a good day, or if you're feeling off, or you're supposed to pretend like everything is okay. So we're in this sort of existence. So it's difficult to shift from that into something different. But first, you have to really be okay and be compassionate with yourself through the process, that there will be things that will come up. There will be conversations you'll need to have with people that you have not wanted to have or have been avoiding. There will be, situations you're going to have to revisit in your mind to unpack and look at objectively, that will open up some new wounds. But when those wounds are open, you have an opportunity to understand through this new lens that I have, through these new tools that I have as an adult, as a functioning adult, someone in this world who is about to try to help somebody else, right? Because you have the capacity to help someone else. But before you do that, looking at your own situations previously and say, okay, knowing what I know now and looking at taking myself out of it and looking at this entire picture, what could I have done differently? Why did I react this way? Because you did so with the tools that you had at that time. So you can't be hard on yourself. We do the best that we possibly can with what we have in the moment. Everybody does. So you're no different. So being able to take a step back and look, and it's not even, I'm spiritual. It's not even about religion. We're all spiritual beings, regardless of what you believe. But whatever your belief system is, go into prayer, go into meditation, go internally to sit quietly, right? Because I believe that we're all supported, by the source, by the creator, by our spirit guides, by angels. I feel like just because you can't see certain things doesn't mean that they're not surrounding you with love and not supporting you in ways that you don't even see, you don't even know, right? You don't have to be spiritual, or you don't have to be, religious. But if you have a belief system, tap into it and really sit quietly with yourself, because that's another thing we like to do, is to be busy so that we don't have to think about or slow down enough to think about some of the things that continue to bother us or that will pop up, that trigger us. And we're like, where'd that come from? I know that happens to me. It happens to me often, especially now since a couple, maybe like 2 months ago, I did a 30-day detox, and me and my husband, we both did it together. It wasn't really necessarily about what we intake, because for him it was different things. He had some stuff he needed to detox as far as ways of thinking, and my detox was caffeine, corn syrup, sugar with corn syrup, which is like everything, and alcohol. And not that I was, an alcoholic or anything like that, but sometimes when we go in social situations, we like to have a glass of wine, or we like to, it's just something, it's just natural. It's just expected that that's what you do, because it's a social event. Like, not everyone, because not everyone drinks, but for the most part, the commercials you see, the movies you see, every single scene in a movie, someone's got a glass of alcohol in their hand when they're negotiating, when they're having fun, when they're angry, when they're happy, when they're sad. Like, everybody's got something in their hand. They have a drink. So it's become so normalized in our culture and in our society that, just get a little glass, a little something, drink a little something, and not ask ourselves the questions as to why do I need something to drink right now? What am I feeling that I'm trying to either numb, or I'm trying to pacify myself? What are my vices? Like, what do I do to distract myself from what I'm really feeling, because I don't feel like dealing with it? And once I started asking myself those types of questions, when I was in social situations where I just had some seltzer water and some lemon or something, and I'm sitting there and I felt so awkward, so like a fish out of water. I felt like anxiety, right? But it helped me because I was able to remove the things I was numbing myself with. And even that sugar too, that salt, that's like the food that we eat. It's all connects to receptors in our brain that activate serotonin. It activates different chemicals in our body that make us feel a certain way, that fills a void for a moment, but then over time is not really good for us. So during that 30 days, I really had to take a look at, well, Shalita, why are you feeling this way? You're not drinking any alcohol, and you're feeling this kind of way. I'm an introverted extrovert, so I can't be around people long. And I'm just like, in my head, had to get out of my head. But I was grateful for it, because it really did help me to see these are some things in my healing process, as I'm unpacking trauma in ways that have sort of nestled itself and hidden itself into other things. And as I'm unpacking it, being clear of mind and being able to really address what the issues are have been so helpful. It's been so helpful to me. It's still one day at a time, as far as like the sugars and that coffee. I haven't had coffee for 2 months. And those who know me know I would have a venti twice a day. It was I couldn't function without my coffee. And if you told me that I need to cut out blah, 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 my coffee, absolutely not. It's not happening. So the fact that I've gone 2 months without any coffee, I'm proud of myself, y'all. But I say all that to say that a part of your healing process will be that you'll need to cut out the vices and the things that you go to when you start to feel a little jittery, or you start to feel angry, you start to feel anxiety, or you start to, and any mood altering things that we go to. Take a look at that. And I'm not saying you got to cut everything out. I'm just saying, what does that mean? What if you didn't take that, or if you didn't drink that glass of wine to calm you down, what else could you do that could calm you down? I realized, my memory is already bad. So if I were to drink a couple of glasses of wine, I would forget things. The next day, I wouldn't even need to be drunk. I would just not really, the smaller details of things or conversations that I had, or I just wouldn't remember. My memory's already bad. And the whole point of life is to live it. It's to live it. How can you live life when you're not present for most of it? When you're numb for most of it? How can you say you can enjoy an experience or even dislike an experience when you're not even present for it? Right? So those are the types of things that I mean, the hard questions that you have to ask yourself. And your journey is your journey alone. There is no time limit to it. There is no, I got to hurry up and do this, or, I got to do this, or I got to do that. No, you're going to unpack as you unpack. And that's fine. I say all of this to say, again, just so you know, what this got to do with me and my nonprofit. We up here getting all deep and stuff about my nonprofit. What this got to do with the thing I'm trying to... It has everything to do with it, because you are your nonprofit. You are your business. You are the program or the organization that you represent, right? It's you, and every way you manifest. There is no, I do this personally, I do this professionally, I do this privately, I do this. No, everything you do comes out everywhere. If you have an issue with communicating with people, you have an issue with communicating with people at home, with communicating with people at work, with communicating with people out in the world. You have that same communication issue with people. It doesn't matter. You are the same person, even when you have to behave differently in different environments because of etiquette. You are still you. So if you have some stuff that's festering inside of you that you have not addressed, that has been lingering, I promise you it is spilling out in ways that you don't even realize, and also in ways that you do realize but you don't want to address it. And all I'm saying, you do what you want. You can do what you want because it's your life and it's your nonprofit. But if you are truly here to help other people, you cannot do it until you heal yourself. Okay? Let's be clear about that. If you are truly wanting to empower people and improve the lives of other people, you have to take a step back and take care of you and unpack your stuff and say, why do I want to do that? Why does this feel this way to me? What was I missing that I feel like I still am holding on to that? And I've got to help reach out to somebody else, and I've got to give them what I always wanted, because that thing may not be what they want. And it may hurt them more than help them. And you're not here to hurt people. You're here to help people. But you can't help people if you don't help yourself. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. You can take it or leave it. It's all good. But I know what I'm doing for my hashtag nonprofit no filter members starting January 1st. I'm going to do a monthly, what I'm calling Heal the Nonprofit Visionary, sort of monthly resources, tools that I'm going to email about self-care. All right, so we're going to talk about, what are the different seasons and how do we fit in with nature, and how do we start the process of really going inward and recognizing our connection to source, to everything else around us, to the people that we're trying to help, to the trees that are out here. We're in a world now where everything's prescription drugs. We're in a world now where no one knows how to grow food, and we're in this world where we allow other people to control the very necessities, our basic necessities in our lives, and that feeds into or really influences our mental health and how we take care of ourselves. So I want to be able to, it's not just about the technical work around starting a nonprofit, because I got you there. As I got templates. If as far as the membership, we got templates. We've got the online courses that I've developed: Dream Your Nonprofit in a Weekend, Seed Your Nonprofit for Success. We have those. And if you are a Build It #nonprofit no filter member, you also get 30 minutes of one-on-one time with me every month. So just ShalitaO'Neal.com. You can go in there and take a look at the different membership options. But I also want this to be a holistic experience for my clients and for my members. It's not just about your technical assistance. It's also about self-care and taking care of you and being able to be a part of a group that you can go to for support, that you can bounce things off of as you're going through your, unpacking your thing, exploring the things that you like to do. And, because if you don't take care of that part, you're going to burn out of your nonprofit at some point. It's not going to be as effective or successful as you'd want it to be if you leave yourself behind. So I'll send more information out about that. But yeah, I was like, let me do something. Heal the nonprofit visionary. Healing the nonprofit visionary. Every month we're going to have affirmations, right? We're going to talk about, maybe give you some heart work. What are some self-care tips that you can give or do, during the different seasons? And right now we're in winter, and typically that's the dormant season. And we are connected to nature, whether you want to believe it or not. Our habits mimic and mirror the habits of plants, of nature around us. When the leaves fall off and turn colors and go dormant in fall, so do we. In the summertime when we're like, oh yeah, we got to go work out. We got to wear our nice little shorts and scantily clad clothes sometimes on the beach or whatever. And, fall come around, you're like, okay, I put my clothes on. I ain't got to worry about all that. I can just fall back and kind of, we gain a little weight. We get, some of us, they have seasonal, I forgot, it's called SAD, right? So around this time of year, we get sad because, it's the holidays coming around and it's colder out and the sun isn't out as long as it normally is. So just as nature goes through its different transitions and its evolution, so do we. And we are all in line with that. Whether you believe it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, we're all in line with this. So when you're more aware of it, then and more in tune with certain things, and there's some things that you can do to really be deliberate, right? About and intentional about your own self-care. That's not superficial. That's not I got my hair done, or I got my nails done, or, I got my hair cut, or I got, got a new pair of shoes. Okay, that's superficial, taking care of yourself. How are you truly, truly, truly taking care of yourself? Because, I'm all about the #nonprofit no filter. We're going to keep it real because I love you. Because I do. I don't even got to know you to love you. And I want you to be successful. And I don't want you to leave yourself behind. Okay? So, there's that. I hope you're not too upset with me. I hope you still tune in. And I hope you're not a stranger and you're not shy about reaching out to me. If you need some support, if you need some one-on-one guidance on bringing your concept to reality, or even if you're just started, maybe you want to revitalize or expand or build your nonprofit organization, I'm here for you too. So don't forget ShalitaO'Neal.com and stay tuned for more information about the Healing the Nonprofit Visionary series that I'm going to start up in January for the #nonprofit no filter members. So if you're not a member, get started. Come on. It's $25 a month for the lowest one, $45 a month for the middle one, and $95 a month for the highest one, which also includes 30 minutes of one-on-one time with me per month. And I think that's a really good deal. So let's get started. Happy 2020 to you. Happy holidays. And until next time, be blessed.